A very good afternoon to everyone. Today we will study about cell cycle checkpoints. But first, a brief introduction about cell cycle. A cell cycle is the regulatory event where cell grows itself, multiply and then divide itself into mother cells. This cell cycle has two phases, the interphase and the M phase. Interphase is the preparatory phase where interphase is divided into G1, S phase and G2 phase. Then comes the second phase, that is M phase, or the actual dividing phase, mitotic phase. In an eukaryotic cell, this M phase only ends up in 1 hour, while the interphase takes about 11 hours in G1 phase, 8 hours in S phase and 4 hours in G2 phase. When this interphase and M phase is together happening, then this whole process is called as the cell cycle, where a sequential event occur in a cell and cell grows, multiplies and divides itself. But we all know that if we are going in a pathway and we don't check that it is the right path or not, so we have to every time check that we are going on the right direction or not. Similarly, a cell cycle has checkpoints like following a road by us, and these checkpoints are called as cell cycle checkpoint. These cell cycle checkpoints are regulated by a number of proteins, but the most important are cyclin and CDK protein. These cyclin are the regulatory protein. They are synthesized in each and every step and then they are degraded. The second is the CDK, cyclin dependent kinases, and they are the catalytic subunits. These proteins are always present in the cell, but they are active when they are binded with the cyclin. So a cell has 4 type of cell checkpoints, and the first one is G1 checkpoint, that is regulated by cyclin D, CDK6 and CDK4. The second checkpoint is in intertransition from G1 to S, and this is called as G1 by S checkpoint, and that is regulated by cyclin E and CDK2 protein. The third is the S checkpoint or inter-S checkpoint, that is regulated by cyclin A and CDK2. The last or the fourth one is transition from G2 to M checkpoint, that is regulated by cyclin A, cyclin B and CDK1. Just like checkpoints, a cell cycle checkpoint helps a cell to move from one phase to another phase. The G1 checkpoint helps a cell to decide to proceed, pause or exit the cell cycle. The G1 by S checkpoint inhibit a cell if it is not committed to DNA replication. The S checkpoint inhibit a cell if it is not activated yet in the S phase. G2 by M checkpoint inhibit a cell to enter into M phase if there is any defect in spindle assembly or the attachment of spindle microtubules to the kinetochore of the chromosome, or is there any DNA damage in it. Now further we will study about how these cyclin and CDK molecules are bounded with each other and how their activity is regulated, and they act as a checkpoint for a cell cycle. Few more important points that has to be remembered about the proteins of cell cycle. The important one are cyclin and CDK. Cyclin is a regulatory protein and it has a cyclic behavior of synthesis and degradation in each cell cycle. It binds with the CDK and then regulate the CDK to phosphorylate the target molecules. If a CDK is not binded with cyclin, then it will not phosphorylate the other target molecules. While the CDK is catalytic in nature and it is a protein kinase, it phosphorylates the target protein that regulate the cell cycle. This phosphorylation is at the serine and threonine residues of the targeted protein, and this phosphorylation is a transient and reversible process. Now coming to the example, The Saccharomyces pombe has only one cycline type and one CDK type, while the Saccharomyces cerevisiae has 4 types of cycline, that is G1 cycline, G1 by S cycline, S cycline and M cycline, and all these bind with only one single type of CDK. But in vertebrates we have 4 types of cycline and 4 types of CDK that bind specifically to them. G1 cycline bind with G1 CDK, G1 by S cycline bind with the G1 by S CDK, S cycline bind with the S CDK and G2 by M cycline bind with the G2 by M CDK only. Coming to the cell cycle regulation. Cell cycle is regulated by 2 specific proteins, that is cycline and CDK. When cycline is free and CDK is free and they are not bounded, then cell cycle regulation will not occur. When cycline and CDK will together bind and form a subunit, cycline CDK subunit, then it will be functional. But there are 5 conditions that it will work or not. If cycline get degraded, then this will not be functional. The second condition is that if somehow this cycline dependent kinase get degraded by any protein molecule, then it will not work. The third condition is that if this CDK molecule get phosphorylated at a specific position, then this cycline CDK complex will not further be active to regulate the cell cycle. The fourth condition is that if CDK doesn't bind with a special molecule, that is CAK, that is CDK activating kinase, then this cycline CDK complex will not be fully active. The fifth condition is that if cycline and CDK are binded together and they are binded with the other molecules, but if it binds with the CKI, that is CDK inhibitor protein, then this complex will not be further functional and it will not regulate the cell cycle. The cell cycle regulation by degradation of cycline is done by E3-ubiquitin ligase. The cycline of G1 phase is degraded by a special protein, that is SCF, that is having SKP1, CUL1 and F box protein. With this it has a RBX ring domain protein. This protein complex degrade the G1 phase cycline and regulate a cell not to enter into the S phase and exit from the cell cycle. Second, the S and M phase cyclines are degraded by APC by C protein complex, that is anaphase promoting complex or cyclosome. It has 15 to 17 subunit and it is having choline ring finger U3 ligase protein. This APC by C protein degrade S and M phase cycline and thus regulate a cell not to enter into the M phase or the anaphase if there is any DNA damage or some other defect in the replication of DNA. The cell cycle is also regulated by the activity of CDK protein. This CDK when bind with the cycline, this is functional. But if this cycline get degraded, then this CDK will not work and this complex will not be further functional. But if this CDK molecule get phosphorylated at 15 position of the tyrosine residue by V1 protein in fission yeast, then this MCDK will not be further active and cell will not move from G2 to M phase. Further, in higher vertebrates, there is the phosphorylation at 15 tyrosine residue and 14 position by the same protein V1, and this phosphorylation at 2, 15th and 14th position make MCDK inactive or to regulate the cell cycle. There is another protein, that is CDC25, that has the antagonist activity to this V1 protein, and when this CDC25 protein dephosphorylate or remove the phosphate from the 14th position of MCDK molecule, it also again activate this MCDK and cell moves from G2 to M phase. Coming to the cycline and CDK complex regulation. Cycline and CDK complex is fully active by another protein that is called CAK, that is CDK activating kinase, and it phosphorylates the CDK molecule at 161 position of threonine residue, and it is near to its active site. This phosphorylation makes a conformational change in the CDK molecule, and it is fully active with the cyclin molecule to regulate the cell cycle. The second molecular family is that inhibitory proteins that include the CKI or CDK inhibitor proteins. These protein complexes inhibit the activity of cyclin and CDK complex. This CKI include two family of protein. First one is CIP or KIP family, and it is CDK interacting protein or kinase inhibitory protein. It includes P21, P27 and P57 protein. The second family is INK family, that is inhibitor of CDK4 protein, and it includes P16 protein also called as INK4A, P15 that is INK4B, third is the P18 that is INK4C protein, and the last one is P19 INK4D protein. All these protein P21, P27, P57, P16, P15, P18 and P19 together inhibit the cyclin CDK complex and then inhibit the cell cycle regulation, and cell doesn't move in the next phases.